Good evening. It's Jan with Midweek Rojo with Jan, and it is a Wednesday, 7:27. A little bit late, couple of minutes late, I'm afraid. Sorry, this evening. Hope you're good. And it's again at very short notice for my topic. But tonight I'm going to be talking about how to create an online course. So if that is something you've ever thought about doing, then this is definitely the right place for you. And I'll be going through the pros and cons, the getting started, what you can expect to earn, of course, very importantly, and the timeline and a little bits and pieces in between. So if you've got any questions, please do ask as I'm going through. I might not see them when I'm talking initially. I will go through at the end and check. Actually, I'll just put my comments on, make sure I can see them. And of course, I will answer them afterwards. And if you're coming on replay, please ask them. Let me know. And if you're coming on live, come and say hi. And if you're same with replay, do say you've been on #replay. But this is something that I've learned from a wonderful lady called Emma Cooper, who is doing a fantastic boot camp at the moment. So if you'd like to join in with that, it's completely free. Then put in boot camp in the comments and I will add you to the invite list. And also, if you would like to know more at the end, because obviously I can't teach you everything about the whole thing this evening, but I will be able to just give you the basics. And then if you'd like to know more, let me know and I can put you in touch with the right course within the business, how you can get started and, step by step, how to do it basically. So again, say hi. I know somebody's on, say hello. Right. So what is an online course? Well, I'm sure you probably know that, but you're probably bombarded on, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, with people trying to sell you this course, the other course and everything else. And you think, we might even think it's actually a saturated market, but you would be surprised because at the moment it's a $217 billion marketplace, but that's set to increase to 465 billion. How they work these figures out, I don't know, in not too many years' time. So there's definitely room for improvement. This is, or not improvement, I guess. There's why couldn't your course could be better than half the ones out there, I'm sure already. But anyway, definitely improve. I've lost my teeth today, haven't I? Definitely room for you to get in. And now I'm going to switch my phone off, so I hope you haven't heard that. Okay, so let's switch the sound off my phone. Okay, so how do you get started with doing an online course? So you might not think that you have anything that you could do, that it's just something like somebody else does. But Em has told us about the 12 different areas. There's 12 areas of things that are most popular right now. And that is IT, health and fitness, entrepreneurship and business, social media. That's a massive one. How to do your Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. Career coaching. There's a lot of languages, personal development. I mean, thinking about if you know anything of these. I mean, for example, if you've got a second language that you're really good at, or you're from somewhere else and you could teach wherever you're from, the people there, the English language, that's something you could do online. Then there's music, writing, content creation, web design, academics, digital marketing, arts and crafts. I've said writing, content creation, and computer and IT entrepreneurship. Yeah, I think I've been through them all. So that's not an exhaustive list, obviously, but it's the most popular ones at the moment. But I can't believe my phone's still ringing when I actually told it to switch off. So this is very strange. So if you have something that you can do, then have a think about whether you could make it into an online course. There's all sorts of things that you can do. If you're into knitting or into some sort of strange sport or meditation or anything, you you might have enough knowledge or be able to learn more about it to be able to help others. Just remember, you just have to be one step ahead of somebody who knows less than you, and you're able to teach them something. So how would you decide what to do if you hadn't already got an idea in mind? Well, have a think about the experiences you've got. It might be personal experiences, it might be something that you do work or for your business. It might be helping other people do what you do as a business, for example. And think about what people come to you for as advice now. They might think that you're really good at helping IT problems, or with how to do some baking, or whatever it is that or social media, anything. Think about what people ask you to do for them, or they advise other people to go and ask you. So that's something you can do. And just in general, what skills do you have, which I've sort of covered really already. So fairly obvious, but not so much if you're thinking that you don't have any skills. Ask other people. Go on Facebook and say, what do you think that would be a good course for me to choose, and you might be surprised. So how do you get started with the course itself? Now, you've all heard of AI, and I'm not going to say go and ask AI to do it all for you. That's for sure. So ChatGPT or Gemini, my favorite is Gemini. It can help you give you your ideas, and it can help you with skeleton, a course outline, etc. But also, when you start off, you can ask it in its business coach role, perhaps, to help you with this subject. And you can ask it say what you're wanting to do. So if it was to a meditation course, say that you wanted to start this online course, what you wanted to help people with, if it was a specialist area, blah blah blah, and then you could ask it, what are people's pain points in this area, what different things that I could specifically help them with, etc. And then you could ask it to do an outline and to do some sort of modules within that, and suggest some titles for videos or whatever, perhaps, so that you get a good structure, so you know that you're not just waffling on like I am, perhaps, about things that people aren't interested in. You're going to have a good solid base to start your course. And if you don't like what it's telling you in specifics, then you can mess about with it, change it around, and just use it as a guide. And then you will need to obviously flesh all that out and do your videos and everything else, which is what would be on a bigger course to learn how to do that, how to use the software and stuff like that. So you've got to think about whether you've already got an audience as well, whether that you've got an audience within your niche, if you've already got a business perhaps, or if you have an area that of sort of a hobby that you're already a big following in, or whatever, or perhaps you are just really passionate about something and you want to deal with that, and you want to go in that line. So there's two different ways you can look at it. And again, do say hi if you come on live. So what are the risks? Well, the biggest risk, of course, is creating all this big course and then finding that there's nobody wants to buy it. I mean, I guess that is the biggest risk. So the idea I would suggest is, once you've thought about what you're wanting to do, you've created an outline, before you've actually created anything and gone into too much detail of it, or done any actual course creation, or bought anything, or spent too much time on it, other than really thinking about who you're looking to help, your niche market perhaps, and the very basic outline, so you know which subjects you're going to discuss in the course. Then do some research, find out if people are interested in that, put some feelers out, go into groups, Facebook groups perhaps, that are in that field, see if it asks people if they think it's something that they'll be interested in doing. Do a little bit more research before you actually go further down the line with it, because it would be a nightmare if you spent, forever and it was not of anybody. So that's the main one, basically your time. And then we're moving on to the investment. So investment is also time. So you'd be investing a lot of time doing this again. But then there's also the course software that you'd need, which can be quite expensive. So there's the different ones like Katra, and I know Jordan maybe just one laptop funnels, laptop lifestyle funnels, I think it's called. There's lots of different ones you can use, so you could do some research as well into which one you prefer, how much it's going to cost, there's different costs and everything else. So pros and cons now. Please ask if you've got any questions. I should be able to see comments, but if I don't, then I shall say I will answer at the end of the day. Beauty Bubble. Hey, Emma. So pros and cons. Passive income. Now, yes, this can provide you with a fantastic passive income, but it's not an immediate thing. First of all, you are going to have to do an awful lot of work, or quite a lot of work, to put this course together. Putting all your media together, doing your videos if you're going to do it with videos, or you might just be doing a little PDF course. It doesn't have to be a massive thing, but the passive income isn't an immediate thing, because you have to get it all prepared, and you have to do your market research, and you have to do a lot of prep work to start with. However, once you've got your course created, and once you've done the marketing as well, because there is marketing to be done, and you've got a few people that have bought the course that are ongoing with it, you find out who they are, what sort of person, is it the market that you thought it was going to be, get some more information about the people that are already buying it, and then you can do some advertising, perhaps Facebook advertising, or Google, and other social media. And then once that's got going, and you've got perhaps a funnel, so you're collecting email addresses, and you have a marketing system in place where you're sending out emails to people on a regular basis, then it can become a lot more passive, because once the ball started rolling, people recommend you've got your adverts out, and it's a good course, then it can just keep going without you. So that is definitely a great thing about it, because you don't have to be there doing it live. It's just something that people would download, etc. However, of course, you do have to be around for customer support, and perhaps you might offer some sort of live element to it, or some personal element to it as well. So that is one of the biggest pros about it, and you can scale it, as I said, with the advertising. So if you're advertising, you're paying for advertising, but if it brings in 10 times as much for when people buy your course, then that's obviously a great thing to do. So another pro, it's very flexible. So both for the people who buy the course and for yourself. So you can obviously do it when you create it, whenever you've got time. It's a long-term income. It can be an evergreen thing. However, if it's something that changes, like social media, and that's changing all the time, is it something you need to update all the time? In which case, it might even go out of fashion. Like, what if you're doing a TikTok course and they did cancel TikTok because they're talking about not having TikTok anymore, aren't they? Then there is chance that it could go down the pan. Whatever it is you're doing, I'm sure people with CDs thought that was never going to go down the pan, but I hope. But in general, it can be a very long-term income, passive income, and global reach. You can reach anywhere in the world, really, with online, anywhere that's got internet, of course. And as we already mentioned, the growth in the industry is really, really good. So there's plenty of opportunity for the future. Mentioned the scalability. So what are the cons? As we said, the initial time investment. That's probably the biggest thing. It's a lot of work if you're going to do a really good course. And if you're not going to do a really good course, I wouldn't bother, because it's not it's not going to do you any favors. There's a lot of competition, but I think if you market yourself as you're going to attract the people that your people. You're going to, there might be people that actually prefer somebody else to do their teaching style. Fair enough. They're not going to want to do your course anyway. I've followed various people. I've done different courses. There's lots of rah people, and then there's people that are really natural and like neighborly. You don't have to be some sort of business suited person if you're not. If you're, if you're on a farm and you're teaching how to do farm cooking, then they'll want to see you as an actual farmer or farmer's wife, whatever it is. So yeah, that people will be attracted to you, and you won't have to try and be somebody else. So the competition, just make sure that your unique style is you, and then you have no competition in that, in effect. Technical challenges, the software can be complicated, or even if you've got it all done and it's working really well for you, the people that are using it might struggle, and you might have to then be able to help with customer support with that, although hopefully the internet people or the software people will be helping them with it if there's issues, but that is always something that can happen. And as I've mentioned, you really need to have some good quality and some good content, so make sure that works out, because otherwise you're just going to have a bad reputation and you're not going to get a long-term income from it. As I mentioned, customer support and your marketing, you've got to get that right, and it can take time, especially at the beginning. If you haven't got the money to budget for the marketing and you're doing all on social media, then yeah, I know for sure it can take a long time, and that can be a bit of a pain in the butt. But you could always help outsource it to someone that's not necessarily very expensive, like on Fiverr or something like that, and get some help there if you're really struggling. So the big question is how much you can earn. Or it's a big question for some people. Some people are quite happy to do it just because they enjoy doing it. But I think a lot of people, majority of people who are doing this would obviously want to do it to help people. That's the whole point, and not just do it for the money, but not for nothing, because there's a lot of initial cost involved with if you're doing the software, and a lot of your time, so you do need to be compensated. And this it entirely depends. It's a bit like how long is a piece of string. I mean, if it's an online course which is basically just reading stuff that you've produced, that could almost that could be just classed as a very simple online course. Then it could just be in a couple of videos or something. It could just be £7 or something like that as a basic. But then of course you can scale it up massively, so you can do courses that are hours and hours of recordings. You can include some live coaching, blah blah blah. So you can go from anything from £10 to like £10,000 plus eventually. I wouldn't suggest that you start off with a £10,000 course, because that's probably a little bit too much. But I have personally purchased quite a few courses over £1,000 in my time, and even though at the time I probably really couldn't have afforded it, I really liked what I saw, thought it would really help me with my businesses, and as long as the quality and the content is there, then people are prepared to pay that, and rightly so if you've put all that effort into it. So I hope this has been helpful. I haven't been able to see any questions live, but if you have them afterwards, as I say, I'm very happy to answer them for you. And also, if you want to have a look at or you want to join in with the boot camp, if you're watching this really soon, that's going to be still on. I'm not sure quite when it finishes, but I think there's at least one more day for that. Plus, if you would like to get more information on the course, see an online course about a course, or at least membership. There's a membership that you can join just to have a look and get answered questions and more information about it, and there is obviously a course within there about it as well, to get to step-by-step basics of how to do it, or even more than basics, the actual step-by-step. So if you want to know more about the bootcamp, and if you want to know more about the course, but I will also put some information in the description after this has been uploaded. And you can also get my free PDF from the link in the bio. In fact, the bootcamp is in the link in the bio at the moment as well. So there you go. I hope I haven't bombarded you with too many bits of information. I hope it's been useful. And if so, please make sure you tune in again next Wednesday evening. We'll be back to the normal time, hopefully, of 7:15. And I will find out exactly what I'm going to be talking to you about next time. It will be another business opportunity, I think, that you can do, although I might have somebody very special to interview next week, so we will see. Fingers crossed. So take care, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye.